Pimp my rods, Ed's van edition. This is Ed from Green Hat Kiteboarding. This is my one board quiver right here. Have a van full of racks. This is pretty much the board I use for almost everything at this point. I've been parawinging on it, winging on it, SUP foiling on it. When the wind dies and I'm parawinging, I end up prone foiling on it into a wave. Foil driving on it a little bit just to play around with it, even though it is 96 liters. So this is the biggest Midi they make, 6'4" by 21 by 5 3/4 inch. Like I said, 96 liters, and it is awesome. I'm about 6'2", 6'3", about 210 pounds. So I'm about 96 kilograms, 98 kilograms. So it is a little bit of a sinker when I'm supping on it, but it's so worth it once you paddle up into the waves and you're cruising on this thing. It almost feels like a prone board under your feet, but the best part is you still have the paddle in your hands. So if you're comfortable pump paddling, it's awesome. For parawinging and light wind winging, it has been incredible. It gets off the water super fast. It's got a very flat bottom, which I really like. Pretty soft rails into a harder rail as it gets closer to the tail. Releases off the water really well. I've been riding this with everything from code 770 up to the code 1300. I've ridden the F1 Jam 1600 on this. Delta, code, bunch of different foils, bunch of different sizes in all kinds of varying conditions. Flat water winging, wave winging. So downwind parawinging on this, it feels like there's almost a prone board under my feet, being that it's only 6'4", and I don't feel like I'm sacrificing a lot, being that it's kind of equal to my body weight. So I'm able to get off the water and ride with a parawing that's comfortable when I'm up in the air, which is huge. Because when you start to downsize on the boards, you typically are going to need a bigger parawing to get off the water, and then it's going to be a little bit more pull on your arms.
All right, so let's talk about the track pad.
Yeah, track pad, super grippy, but at the same time, not ripping my skin up, which I really like about it, because being that you're parawinging and winging on this, and for me, when I'm supping, I'm not always standing on it, so I'm going from my knees to standing a lot. Every time I drag my toes up or drag my knees up the board, I'm not ripping my skin, which I really love. It's got a little bit of indent in the middle here, so it gives you a nice feel for where your foot is on the board. And it's got a little lip towards the rail here as well. I personally don't ride that offset that I noticed that, but the one in the middle I do, which is nice. And it also has all of these strap insert holes, which I use as like a visual cue for where my front foot is. Yeah, so these North Midis have this DropBox, which unfortunately not all foils work, but most of my foils that I use, the Code, Delta, obviously North foils, all work, and they just simply just drop them in and then slide it back. And I just love that feature. Since most of the foils now don't have openings in their base plates, this makes it super simple and super fast when we're doing downwinders. If I have to break down, to be able to just drop the foil in and not have to take the bolts all the way out. It also has this grip handle for carrying, which with parawinging and winging entering the water is very nice. So I do appreciate that being there. You don't find that on a lot of the SUP downwind boards just because you want clean water flow over the bottom, but I haven't had an issue with this when I'm supping in the waves. I actually find this board being 21 wide balances really well when I'm standing on it and supping. I haven't gotten to give it a go yet in the downwind bumps, but that's on the agenda for sure. I love you.
If you want more reviews like this, like, comment, all that fun stuff, and you can check us out at greenhatkiteboarding.com.